Today, we witnessed a fracture in the financial system so profound that it will redefine the next century. What you are about to hear is not a market forecast. It is a field report from the collapse of a 50-year-old monetary illusion. While the world was watching price ticks, a sovereign institution surrendered. The United States Mint, the literal manufacturer of American coinage, has halted all sales of silver. Their stated reason, evaluating pricing adjustments, is the most alarming financial confession you will ever read. It means the entity that prints money cannot figure out what money is worth anymore. This is not a glitch. It is a default. Think of it like this. Imagine the owner of a gas station with pumps full of fuel suddenly chaining the handles shut and posting a sign that says, "Price unknown." Would you assume business is healthy? Or would you understand that the owner fears the fuel is worth more than any price he can post before it changes again? The mint is that gas station. Silver is that fuel. By closing the window, they have admitted the price on the screen is a fiction, and the real value of the metal has escaped their control. They have been outbid by the physical market. And what is the physical market saying? While New York computers quote a price around $88 across the Pacific in the factories and vaults of Shanghai, real silver is trading hands for $100 an ounce. A $12 chasm between paper and reality isn't a trading opportunity, it's a verdict. It tells you that the East, which actually consumes the metal to build its future, has stopped listening to the West's paper fantasy. The price is being set by those who need the metal, not by those who trade promises of it. This arbitrage gap is a financial black hole, and it is currently sucking every available bar of silver out of London and New York vaults and onto jets headed to Asia. This leads to my own analysis of the situation. A chilling but logical conclusion. We are watching the final transfer of global pricing power. The authority to say what something is worth is the ultimate authority. For generations, that power resided in New York and London. As of this week, it is shifting to Shanghai. The mint's paralysis is the proof. When your own government cannot source a strategic commodity at its own official price, that price is no longer official. It is merely wrong. But the crisis runs deeper than a stalled mint. As the government froze, a silent bank run accelerated. Data reveals that in a single day, over 1.8 million ounces of silver were physically pulled from the major exchange vaults that back the entire paper trading system. Crucially, over 1.3 million ounces were withdrawn from the crown jewel itself, the JP Morgan vault. This isn't a paper transfer. This is metal in trucks driving away forever. Withdrawals of this scale are not done by small investors. This is the movement of nations or institutions the size of nations. They aren't selling into this rally. They are taking their marbles and going home because they know the game is rigged and the house is running out of marbles. This is a catastrophic feedback loop. The rising physical price in Asia drains Western vaults. The draining vaults force the mint to suspend sales. The suspended sales confirm the scarcity, which drives the physical price higher still. This is a financial chain reaction with no emergency stop button. If you're beginning to see that this is a structural collapse, not a simple bull market, then you understand that conventional news sources will be the last to tell you the truth. They are narrating the old world while the new one is being born in chaos. Staying ahead of this requires real-time, unfiltered analysis. Make sure you are subscribed. The coming days will separate those who are prepared from those who are left with explanations that only make sense after the fact. So what comes next? The $100 mark is not a finish line. It is a starting gun. When the New York paper price finally, violently snaps toward the Shanghai physical price, a mathematical inevitability, it will cross a psychological Rubicon. Silver hits $100 will be a global headline, introducing millions to an asset they considered dead. The U.S. Mint, by closing, has done more to advertise silver than any campaign ever could. They have signaled it is priceless. This brings me to my final speculation on the endpoint. This isn't about silver reaching a nice, round number. This is about price discovering the level at which it finally crushes enough demand to balance a fundamental shortage. With industrial necessity colliding with a evaporating paper supply, the numbers point far higher. Historical and geological ratios between gold and silver suggest a true equilibrium could be $3, $4, or even $500. This is not hype. It is the market's brutal arithmetic correcting decades of manipulation. Your action is no longer about investment. It is about sanctuary. If your silver exposure is in an ETF, you hold a legal claim on a vault that is being emptied by the truckload. You are an unsecured creditor. If you are on the sidelines with cash, you are betting that a system in the throes of admitting defeat will offer you a polite discount. It will not. The only discount available is the one between the true physical price and the fake paper price. And that gap is closing with every ounce that boards a plane to Shanghai. The message of today is unmistakable. The mint is closed. The vaults are bleeding. The real price is set in the East. The era of trusting paper promises backed by silver is over. What remains is a brutal contest for the tangible, the real, the atomic. Your only safe position is outside the system, holding what they can no longer print, pretend to have, or price. The window to move is still open, but the walls are shaking. Decide which side of the fracture you want to be on when the dust settles. The countdown didn't start today. It just became visible.